Periyava Sharanam, Experiences with His Holiness, narrated by Radha Ramamurthy, Pudukkotai, compiled by T.S. Kodandarama Sharma. With the bells ringing Om. The sound of Om. I used to write poems and songs on Periyava and submit to him. I would write on an ordinary paper and keep it in Periyava's Sannidhi. He would take and read it himself or would ask Sri Balu, who would be on his side, to read it. Sometimes he would ask me to read it and listen. On one occasion, I wrote a song as a Ragamalika on the daily puja that Periyava does. I kept it near Sri Periyava. He said to Sri Vedapuri Shastrigal, who was beside him, "Take it and read." The Shastrigal took and read the paper. When he was halfway through, Periyava asked him to stop. Exactly at that time, the Matham's bell rang and Periyava said, "Om, Om," loudly for each stroke of the bell. After it was over, he said, "Now you read on." Vedapuri Shastrigal continued reading the next line I had written, which was with the bells ringing, Om, Om. All of us there were surprised. Why would the bell ring exactly at the time? Why should Periyava recite Om, Om for each stroke of the bell? Which God's Sankalpa is this? That incident seemed to make me realize Periyava telling me, "You don't write anything on your own that is not known to me. It is my anugraha that makes you write." What place, what name? My sister-in-law's husband had come to our house at Pudukkotai from Bangalore. He gave me a notebook full of Sri Ramajayam writing and 10 rupees in cash and asked me to submit them to Periyava with the words, "Bangalore Kuppuswami Iyer asked me to submit this notebook and this money of 10 rupees. There was a large crowd near Periyava. When I entered Kanchi Sri Matham, famous Pandits and other famous people had assembled near him. Since I could not stand in the vicinity of Periyava for a long time, I placed the Sri Ramajayam notebook and the money on the fruit platter of someone else and stood at a distance. Little by little, the crowd dispersed. Periyava stood up with that notebook in his hand. "Who placed this?" he asked. "Myself," I said. "What is the name of the man who wrote this? Is he from Bangalore? What else did he give?" I was shaken at his words. "Periyava, Kuppuswami Iyer came from Bangalore to our house in Pudukkotai. He gave me this notebook and 10 rupees. It was my mistake to have submitted it without telling Periyava. You should kindly pardon me." He made me say what I hesitated to speak, and there was also a smile on his face that looked at me. This incident taught me that we cannot hide anything from Periyava. I realized that whoever told me whatever to be conveyed to him, it should be told verbatim to him, and any offering submitted to be given personally to him. I am Gadapati too. My brother-in-law's daughter Jana and I used to go to Kanchi and have darshan of Periyava. We would submit different offerings each time we went there. On one occasion, it occurred to us to string a beautiful aragampul garland and offer it to him. With arali flowers forming the border, we prepared a large aragampul garland and went on the next morning to offer it. By the time we reached Kanchi, it was 8 in the morning. Periyava was sitting conversing with everyone around him. We kept the garland pack and a pack of sugar lumps in front of him. He took it and kept it aside in a corner. He did not even open the pack to look what it contained. We were having darshan of him standing. A woman came around 10 o'clock. She had in her hand an intricately designed silver armor for Pillayar. As ordained by the sage, she had arranged for the silver armor for the Pillayar of the temple at their place of domicile and brought it for Periyava's anugraha. Periyava took the kavacham from her, kept it on his lap, and told his disciple nearby, "Take that," pointing to the pack in a corner. The disciple unwrapped the pack and handed over the Argampul garland to Periyava. How did he know the contents of the pack without looking at it or asking about it? He enwreathed the silver kavacham with the garland. It fitted nicely as if tailor-made for the object. He then took the kavacham with the garland, fitted it on his chest, turned to all the four sides and gave darshan. We all went into ecstasy. The woman who brought the kavacham stood with joy in palms, tears welling up in her eyes. Periyava gave the kavacham with the garland to her through his disciple. What we took to offer him was an ordinary thing, but for the fullness of heart we had, there was no limit to it. This was because he made us somehow realize the abheda between him and Ganapati. To be continued, Periyava Sharanam.